as we go ahead and look at our Corona Tale of the Tape, as tonight's Corona Tale of the Tape, who invites you to find your beach. As you take a look at Antonio Santa Cruz and Jonathan Torres, it is Torres who is 1 year older, Santa Cruz with the height and the reach advantage, and both weighed in identical at 117 pounds. As we near our first bout tonight, and now we will send it over to our ring announcer for the evening. Here is Ralph Velez.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Sportsman's Lodge Event Center here in Southern California. This is Premier Boxing Champions live on FS1. This bout, 6 rounds of boxing in the bantamweight division. Brought to you by Last Round Promotions. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout will be Jerry Cantu, Max DeLuca, and Zachary Young. And in the ring, the man laying the law when the bell sounds, referee Tony Krebs. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing black trimmed with red. He would in officially at 117.8 pounds. His professional record, 7 victories, 5 defeats with 1 bout even. Fighting out of Tlacomulco, Mexico, presenting Jonathan Torres. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing blue trimmed with white. He would in officially at 117.6 pounds. His professional record, 5 victories, 2 defeats, 2 of his victories coming by way of KO. From San Gabriel, California, presenting Antonio Santa Cruz.
It is our first bout tonight, Antonio Santa Cruz and Jonathan Torres. There you see Santa Cruz. He is the brother, or the younger cousin, of Leo Santa Cruz, Jonathan Torres, as we get set. Ray Flores, Sergio Mora here, ringside, and already started Sergio with an overhand right is Antonio Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz comes from a family of fighters. Jose Santa Cruz, who you probably don't remember. I used to fight with him in amateurs. I just saw him in the hallway there. Good fighter. Of course, Leo, multi-division world champion, sitting next to us. And this is another one of the Santa Cruz siblings that's a really good fighter.
And incidentally, Leo Santa Cruz is Last Round Promotions. This is the first nationally televised event that they are promoting here in California. So big event. And what a right hand that by Torres. Torres has Santa Cruz hurt. And now Santa Cruz is on the defensive. He got clipped with a right hook, Sergio.
It's incredible. I mean, this is what you get when you fight these siblings. You expect they have the same kind of skill that the older brothers have, but sometimes, you know, you just got to get your feet wet in there and not just think you're a Santa Cruz and you can fight and go in there and win every fight and every round.
Both fighters are on win streak. Santa Cruz, 4 straight victories. For Torres, he has picked up 5 straight. But Antonio Santa Cruz was wobbled, and another overhand right that got through the guard of Santa Cruz.
He's finding
Torres going to work.
Torres is finding a home for the right hand right there. You would think Santa Cruz is going to dip to his left now and try to get his attention to the body. Open him up or he won't be throwing those overhand rights and lefts.
Sergio, should Antonio be holding at the very moment? I know he's 20 years of age, and there's a lot of bravado, but should he be holding to try to get his bearings about him?
Well, if he's not holding, that means he's not seriously hurt. So right now he's moving his legs under him. It's still early in the fight, so he's probably not that hurt.
And he's coming forward now, throwing punches. 70 seconds left in round 1. And left hook there by Antonio Santa Cruz. And you're hearing the corner of Santa Cruz telling him to move, but back comes Torres, pounding away on the side of the head of Santa Cruz.
Torres is just missing that left hook right there. He needs to, Santa Cruz needs to watch out for the left hook, because when he gets more tired, he might not see it from a blind spot.
And Jonathan Torres comes upstairs as he lands another left hook.
Now you know why Torres is known as the peligroso, because he's dangerous. I mean, he throws these looping punches where you think the action has stopped, and all of a sudden comes looping around the ears.
Torres continues in his attack as he moves forward, but Santa Cruz still remains in the pocket. And Torres with the left hook, but back comes Santa Cruz with a couple of shots of his own.
Santa Cruz is doing a good job keeping Torres off, considering that he was a little bit hurt and wobbled there. I mean, just because he's not holding doesn't mean he's not hurt, but he has his legs under him. He survived this round, and he looks like he has bearings under him.
As we near the end of round one, Antonio Santa Cruz and Jonathan Torres in a eventful and exciting first round here in Studio City, California. Now, alongside, we are joined by the world champion, Leo Santa Cruz, as he is the head of Last Round Promotions. Leo, what is it like promoting your first nationally televised event?
Very excited, and at the same time nervous. I'm nervous. I was anxious to start, and big headache because you have to be running everywhere, and it's a headache.
Well, you have your cousin Antonio Santa Cruz fighting. He was hurt, but what are you hoping to see out of him in the second round?
To move more and throw his punches and then move, not to stay there till the other guy could land his punches, because the other guy's shorter, he's throwing the hooks, and that's how he got hurt. But I think it's to throw 1-2 and combination and then move, not stay there.
And Leo, what do you have coming up? Everyone wants to know. You had an amazing fight with Carl Frampton at the end of January where you recaptured your world championship, but what are you coming up? What is on the line for Leo Santa Cruz in the future?
Right now, I think we're looking forward, for the end of the summer. They haven't told me yet the exact month, but they told me the end of the summer.
Have they told us an idea of who, maybe? And a left hook there by Jonathan Torres. We'll get back to what's up with Leo Santa Cruz, but right now I can tell you that it is Antonio Santa Cruz who is in some trouble.
Antonio just looked at his older brother, Leo Santa Cruz, and right now he should watch out for the left hooks and overhand rights. Leo, his brother's telling him to move. He needs to move and get out of there. If he's feeling cobwebs, get on his bike, use the jab, and stand behind the jab.
30 seconds have started in this second round, and Jonathan Torres has picked up where he left off in the first round, but back comes Antonio. Leo, what are you hoping to see out of your cousin right now?
To be smart, and don't stay there to those big hooks, because he's getting caught with those big hooks. So I just be smart, use 1-2 at the reach and then move. Don't stay on the ropes, because that's where he's getting caught.
And Jonathan Torres with an overhand right, followed by a left hook to the body. The one thing, Leo, as we talked to your cousin, he said that you and your entire family have been nothing but, you guys are all family, but you guys have been mentors to him because he's been around the big fights. You have seen the evolution of your cousin.
Yeah, no, I have. He's been training with me for all my fights. He helped me get ready. We went to run together and everything, and we both push each other, and it's a great, So for him, I would get more nervous seeing him fight than when I fight.
And he's showing his chin as he got tattooed with an overhand right, but he keeps coming forward, Sergio.
Yeah, he does. He's fighting Torres off. I don't know if he's winning this round. I mean, Torres has won the last 2 rounds pretty big, but he's fighting him off pretty nicely.
Jonathan Torres moves forward, but there's that signature left hook that you guys possess, Leo, that your cousin just threw.
Yeah, no, I told him to throw that punch a lot because, right there, a strong fighter, no matter how strong, he goes down.
Jonathan Torres comes up with the left hook upstairs. Leo, and also, your cousin was telling us that your father and you guys trained about balance along with using combinations and not loading up on shots necessarily to throw 4 or 5 punch combinations.
Yeah, that's what we do. My dad would say, don't throw 1 or 2 punches, always throw a combination, because the round goes, you're going to be breaking him down, and the fighter's he gets desperate and he don't know what to do.
More work by Jonathan Torres, who has won 5 straight. Antonio Santa Cruz has picked up 4 in a row. And the triplet wobbles Jonathan Torres, and back comes Antonio Santa Cruz finding more offense.
This is a good fight right now. I'm telling you right now. Antonio landed a big body shot when you guys were talking right now, but Antonio, he took it well. I'm sorry, Torres landed a big body shot, and Antonio took it well.
We will come back with more and speak with Leo Santa Cruz further in detail. This is the PBC on FS1. Back here, the PBC on FS1, Antonio Santa Cruz and Jonathan Torres alongside Leo Santa Cruz. That is the promoter, Last Round Promotions. They are leading the promotion here tonight. Leo, through 2 rounds, how do you assess the fight with your cousin?
Right now, he's staying there. He's getting, maybe the other one's throwing more punches. He's landing better shots probably. So I think, my cousin, he has to move around, land the better punches, and not get caught with those punches.
And a big right hand by Jonathan Torres. But back comes Antonio Santa Cruz with a chopping right hand and a right hand to the body. There we see that 4-foot punch combination that the Santa Cruzes are so synonymous with.
I'll tell you what, Torres is an aggressive fighter, landing really good shots. He got that knockdown in the first round, but Santa Cruz is fighting him off. He's landing good shots of his own and getting his own respect as well.
You know, Jonathan Torres said that in Mexico, and they are just going toe-to-toe here on Toe-to-Toe Tuesdays. Look at this work by Antonio Santa Cruz. You don't know anything about going toe-to-toe, do you, Leo?
Of course.
I'll tell you what, Leo, for this being your first promotional event, you matched up your cousin pretty rough, man.
Yeah, I know, you did. Yeah, I know it was a hard fight, but
that's what Toe-to-Toe Tuesdays is about,
yeah,
right?
we had to test them.
That's right.
I know the Clippers are out of the playoffs now, but you didn't give him a lob like Lob City. You gave him a very tough challenger in Jonathan Torres.
Yeah, no, it is. I told him that he's not a tough fighter, but you know, these are the fights we have to get used to, and we have to. Because my cousin, he didn't do no amateur fight, so he had no experience. He is turned pro at 18, and he wanted to turn pro already.
See, that's the thing about a lot of these fighters. When they don't have that amateur experience, they need to learn on the job, and that's exactly what Santa Cruz is doing here.
And a nice left hook backing up Jonathan Torres, and Antonio Santa Cruz is getting better and moving forward as the fight evolves here in this third round with 70 seconds remaining.
This is a better round for Antonio, I gotta say. He got some big shots, he's landing some big shots, but considering the adversity he faced in the first round, getting knocked down, and then that big body shot, you must have missed it when you were talking to Leo, but he got hit with a solid body shot. It just thumped. I mean, he came back well in the third round here and is fighting off pretty well.
Under a minute remaining. Leo, this is the best your cousin has looked here in the fight, and we are going to be midway through this contest. But back comes Antonio Santa Cruz with the jab, followed by that straight right down the middle.
You know, this is the first time too he got 6 rounds, so I told him to take it easy, not to throw everything, because 6 rounds is going to be tough, and so he has to take a pace.
Not only that, Leo, but he already fell behind on points with that first round knockdown, so he needs to win this round in order to stay in the fight.
Yeah, he does. You know, my cousin, he has good power, so I think if he lands a good power right, I think he could hurt him and drop him.
Well, I tell you what, he had a good third round here, and I gave it to him possibly.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey! We're halfway home. This is the PBC on FS1. Leo, how would you judge those first 3 rounds?
You know, like Sergio said, you know, the first 2 rounds probably I took them, but you know, I think the third round my cousin beat him, and I think hopefully this all the last rounds he could take them. He had to. Hopefully he got great conditioning.
We're with the champion, the featherweight champion of the world, Leo Santa Cruz. His cousin Antonio.
I think it's natural if he's a Santa Cruz that he's going to have the fighting conditioning, Leo. So I think if he can have a good 4th round here, he can even out the score possibly in the next 2 rounds.
Hopefully, you know, we're not. Hopefully he has a good conditioning, because you know he has great conditioning. He runs with me every time, and he does everything good.
Let's take a look at how the fans scored it on the Throwdown scoring app. It is 28-27, so the fans have your cousin winning this particular fight, Leo, 28-27 on the Throwdown scoring app.
You know, probably the other guy, he landed a bigger punch, but you know, hopefully.
But your cousin is seeming to be more active. A left hook there by Torres. Jonathan Torres, no stranger to fighting in hostile territory. He actually had matchups in Mexico that were not actually sanctioned fights, and he said it improved on his toughness. He had 15 of those matchups, but back comes Antonio Santa Cruz. A left hook followed by an uppercut right to the chin of Torres.
There's no stopping Torres, I'm telling you. He's just coming straight forward. He landed another sweeping left hook there that Santa Cruz needs to start watching out for, because he's missing him, winging him, Torres is, and those are the punches that really hurt you.
Leo, at this particular juncture, your cousin is throwing a lot of punches. Could that sway the judges?
Hopefully, you know, the judges are seeing that, because he's throwing, and you know, he came well prepared. I told him you have to go well prepared, because this guy is pretty tough. You know, they call him peligroso for a reason, and he's a tough fighter. He comes forward. He had 3 years without losing, and 5 fights without losing, so he's really tough.
And for those that don't know, peligroso means dangerous, and Jonathan Torres has been very dangerous, but as has Antonio Santa Cruz. What a fight here in California between both combatants.
Good left hook there by Torres in the end there.
Both guys are pouring it on the line as Jonathan Torres continues to stalk Antonio Santa Cruz, but Sergio, it is Santa Cruz who's continuing to throw from all angles.
Well, look, here's the thing, Ray. He's fighting Torres off, but Torres is landing the effective, I think the effective shots right there. Right there, he landed a good right hand to the body, came up with an uppercut. And it seems like Torres is just, see, he's landing the effective punches that I'm seeing so far. But it's an evenly close round. I'm not a judge here, but this is a tough one to score.
Leo, thank you so much for joining us here. We'll let you get and shout instructions to your cousin, Leo Santa Cruz, the featherweight champion of the world, joining us here ringside. PBC on FS1 continues. Back here in Studio City, Antonio Santa Cruz, Jonathan Torres, Ray Forrest, Sergio Moore. A great conversation we had with Leo Santa Cruz, who's playing double duty, promoter, and also is trying to help out his cousin, Antonio Santa Cruz, by shouting instructions to him.
That's what happens when you're at the stage that Leo Santa Cruz is in. I mean, he's making the money in the ring. Now he needs to make it outside the ring.
Round number 5, final 2 rounds remaining in this bantamweight clash. A big right hand that landed by Jonathan Torres. And you know, Torres told us during the fighter meetings he was excited about fighting a name like Santa Cruz here in his backyard, essentially.
This is his backyard. Anywhere near Los Angeles, you're going to find a couple of Mexicans here. So Santa Cruz definitely has the crowd behind him. But I'll tell you what, peligroso. He's throwing everything in that. I mean, he's throwing caution in the wind. Honestly, this is a very, very close fight. I have Torres up, possibly 3 rounds to 1. I'm not an official judge here, but I see him landing the more effective shots.
A left hook to the body, double left hook by Jonathan Torres. Sergio, should Santa Cruz be using his jab more, trying to stay on the outside and utilize his reach advantage?
Here's the thing, Ray, when you're trying to win a fight, then you're not gonna just stand back and let the judges give you points for boxing. I mean, when you have a guy like Torres coming at you so aggressively, throwing thunderous shots like that, you gotta return that type of thunder, or else the judges aren't gonna give you that type of points that you think you deserve.
Is it also the case, Sergio, as we see Jonathan Torres continue to hammer away on the body of Antonio Santa Cruz, 100 seconds left in this 5th round, that Santa Cruz is only 20 years of age, and he feels like his manhood is being tested by someone who wants to come and stand and trade with him?
Oh, definitely his manhood is being tested. I mean, right now, he just got past his 18th and 19th birthday, so he's definitely becoming a man-ender. I mean, this is no joke. This is a blood sport, Ray.
And let us not forget, as Leo mentioned, that Antonio Santa Cruz had no amateur experience. That's almost unheard of now in boxing, and Antonio is learning on the job with every single professional fight.
Well, it's unheard of here, but it's not unprecedented in Mexico. In Mexico, you're allowed to turn pro at 16. So these guys are born tough, they fight tough, and they come over here, and sometimes they upset the guys that are supposed to win.
Under a minute remaining, Antonio Santa Cruz and Jonathan Torres.
Good body shot there by Torres. See, those are the shots right there that, even though they're blocked, they're having an impact on Santa Cruz. They're just vicious shots. There's another one right there. Santa Cruz does a good job of fighting Torres off, but he's not really, he's not in control of the fight.
A left hook punctuated there by Jonathan Torres, and Torres sitting down on his punches. Also with Antonio, he's not gaining a lot of quality leverage behind his punches, whereas you see with Torres, he's sitting down and you can see the effect on his shots.
That's a great observation there, Ray, because that's exactly the difference right there. Torres almost landed a big left hook, and he's been getting close to landing that from the 1st round. The more tired that Santa Cruz gets, the closer that shot's gonna land.
That's the end of round number 5. With more on these fighters, we'll send it to our very own Jordan Hardy.
Thanks, Ray. We see Jonathan Torres in the ring tonight as a professional boxer, but what you don't know is where it all started. You guys won't believe this. Torres used to fight in the streets a lot, which led to him taking part in underground fighting in Mexico. That means no gloves, no rules, just mano y mano. So this kid is tough, clearly, like we can see tonight. But he did it for 1 year, and in that time span, he said he fought about 15 times. And it was the people who bet on the underground fighters that recognized his talent and suggested he try and turn pro. So he had a quick 25 amateur fights and said he was ready to go to the next level. Ray?
Thank you very much, Jordan. Well, Sergio, I think it's fair to say that Jonathan Torres is a tough customer. He proved it in Mexico, and he's proven it inside the ring against Antonio Santa Cruz.
Absolutely, and you can never know the stories of a lot of these fighters that come from Mexico. I mean, what you just heard from Jordan is an amazing story, but it's time and time again that you get fighters like that coming over from different countries.
Jonathan Torres, 21 years of age. He actually started his career losing 5 in a row, and we asked him what happened in those fights. He said, I took fights on short notice. I didn't have the proper people behind me. It just was a mess, but now I got myself focused, determined, and I am finally realizing my potential, and he's doing a lot of good work against Antonio Santa Cruz, but Santa Cruz remains coming forward and is throwing shots from different angles.
If I tell you what, Ray, I'm not scoring this fight, but from what I've been seeing from the first round that Torres dropped Santa Cruz, it just seems like Santa Cruz has been fighting Torres off. As a judge, if I'm an official judge, I'm going to be giving those rounds to Torres, but he's landing these big shots and making the sweat fly when he goes upstairs.
Let's take a look at how the fans scored it on the Throwdown scoring app. As we will see, they have the fight dead even, Sergio, going into this 6th round. So if that is the case on the judges here ringside, then boy, oh boy, this would determine the fight.
Absolutely, and that's what makes boxing so great. I mean, what do you like seeing? You like seeing the aggressor or the guy fighting off his back foot, landing some clean shots?
A big right hand landed by Jonathan Torres. Don't forget, follow us on social media. Use the hashtag PBC on FS1. Again, use the hashtag PBC on FS1 and follow us at Premier Boxing and also at FS1. Jonathan Torres is just moving with a reckless abandon trying to find Antonio Santa Cruz.
Either way, you got to give both these men credit because what they're doing I mean, he got hit with a big shot, Antonio did, and considering that he's a cousin of the promoter, he wanted to have a big show here. But this is, like I told Leo, matchmaking, didn't matchmake himself in here, so this is definitely a tough fight for the young cousin.
75 seconds remaining in the fight. Antonio Santa Cruz in a barn burner against Jonathan Torres out of Mexico. They have win streaks on the line.
Another heavy body shot. It just thunderous body shot. You can hear it all across the ring right here. And those are the shots that I think are being effective.
A 4-punch combination by Jonathan Torres. Many of them are punches, but he's still scoring with some of his punches, Sergio.
See, that's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see a fighter just put his hands up against the ropes and having people throw punches at him. Right there's another good body shot by Torres, because even though they're not hard punches, they're still landing on your glove. They're still getting the crowd's attention.
Both fighters trying to dig down deep in this final 22 seconds.
Good uppercut there by Santa Cruz. But Torres just stalking Santa Cruz. I mean, he goes from one corner to the other corner, not letting them breathe. As a judge, I would think that's what you would want to see and prefer seeing.
Final moments of what has been a terrific fight to begin toe-to-toe Tuesdays. Antonio Santa Cruz and Jonathan Torres have gone toe-to-toe.
Great 6 rounds, great fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Max DeLuca scores the contest 58-56. Judge Jerry Cantu 59-55. And Judge Zachary Young 60-54. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Jonathan Peligroso Torres.
So Jonathan Torres picks up the win as he defeats Antonio Santa Cruz by way of unanimous decision. That is 6 straight victories for the man known as El Peligroso.
That was a fair decision. I mean, the judges saw what I saw. They gave Santa Cruz a couple of rounds as well, but in my opinion, I think they got it right.
Coming up, we have Brandon Figueroa, who is the younger brother of Omar